to heat up your frozen dinners, grab your TV tray, and settle in for another episode of the Plus Platoon, your podcast for all things Disney Plus, brought to you by Disney Plus fans. Watch along with us every week as we cover all the new, the old, the good, and the bad on Disney Plus. So put down that remote, don't touch that dial, and welcome your fabulous Plus Platoon host.
Hey everyone, my name's Derek and I'm one of the members of the Plus Platoon. We're a Disney Plus fan podcast that gives honest, spoiler-filled reviews of movies and shows on Disney Plus. We look at new releases, coming attractions, and we'll even go back into the vault to revisit some of the classic Disney that's on the platform. Make sure you're subscribed and you will never miss a moment. I'm going to bring in my girl, Kate. Kate, how you doing this evening?
I'm so good. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Yeah. Going to be a lot of fun tonight. Next, we have Peter. Pete, how you doing?
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
Kate, you stole my line.
You're right, I did.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about Toy Story. This is, spoiler alert, it's one of my favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tonight we also have with us Rebecca. Rebecca, glad to see you back.
Hello.
Yay!
My life has, I know. Oh my gosh, my life has calmed down only because I don't have to go to work this week. So glad to
Bonus.
be here.
Yeah. Well, if you're watching along, please like, subscribe, share us, get the word out to as many people as we can, because tonight we've got Toy Story coming up and we've got Toy Story trivia. So bring in all your friends, get them all invited. First, as we do every week, we're going to start with some Disney Plus news. Kate, what have we got going on this week? Still muted, Kate. Live shows, everyone.
And now I have to repeat my song. Oh, it's time for the Disney Plus news. All right. So, in Disney Plus news, first of all, releasing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is Peter Jackson's mini-series Get Back, which follows the Beatles as they write and produce their last album together. I guess I should say wrote, as they wrote and produced. That would make sense. Also, coming tomorrow is Becoming Cousteau, about underwater explorer Jacques Cousteau and his rise to fame. If anyone is a Friends fan and hearing Jacques Cousteau doesn't make you think of Phoebe Buffay, I don't know how to help you, but I might watch that because I love Jacques Cousteau. Next, for those of you who watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, Grogu, otherwise known as Baby Yoda from The Mandalorian, will be making an appearance as a balloon this year. I also happen to have insider knowledge that there is going to be a giant Disney Cruise Line boat, and Minnie from the ship will be on it. So in the Thanksgiving Day Parade. Let's see. Disney Plus show Foodtastic will be debuting on December 15th. It's a Food Network style competition show where the competitors will make sculptures of different Disney stories out of edible materials. Ooh, that'll be good. Also on December 15th, Ron's Gone Wrong, which is currently in theaters, will debut on Disney Plus. The story follows a middle school boy and his best friend from a box, Ron. Ron begins to malfunction and the adventures follow. And last but certainly not least, there is a little bit of buzz that Marvel may release something over the Thanksgiving holiday, but we'll do some research and look at those rumors at the end of the show. Back to you, Derek.
Yeah, great scoop there on the Minnie Mouse thing. Rebecca, you were going to add something.
I was to say, I believe Jacques Cousteau is dead. Which that is the next line from the episode of Friends. I love Jacques massive Cousteau. Friends fan.
Okay, Phoebe. So,
Yep.
See, we've
Can
got
I be
Steve.
Rachel then?
Yes.
Oh God.
We've got Steve joining us. Says hi, everyone. Willie says he's ready for this. His Toy Story is his favorite movie. Very special place in his heart, as it was the first movie my mom took me to watch in theaters. Wow, that makes me feel old. Gina says is with us, excited for trivia. Glenn is with us, says two happy two favorites together, plus Platoon and trivia night. Thanks, Plussers. Our pleasure, Glenn. So, as he said, we're going back into the vault for Toy Story, and this was Rebecca's pick. So great movie. But Pete, I'm going to start with you. Is it an old favorite, or is it just kind of be ready to put in the attic?
Oh no, it is an old favorite. That's for sure. I really debated about even rewatching it for this show, only because I've seen it so many times. Is one of those movies that I almost have by memory. Like I can say it, know every scene and quote the movie all over the place. And but I did watch it earlier this evening, and like it just still works. I mean, yeah, is the animation a little bit dated? Yeah, sure. It was the first computer generated animated movie ever. So yeah, there's definitely some let's say some rust in the bucket from that. But boy, the story's good. It's just solid, and the main characters are really interesting, and there's some pathos, and there's lots of comedy, and it's comedy that works for adults too. And it's a great movie. I can't I can't say much wrong with it, other than, as I said, the animation shows its age at this point. But what do you think, Rebecca? Obviously you picked this one, so.
Yeah, I picked this one because I know that for everyone else and for a lot of people, this is not their vault, going back in time to read things. But when this movie came out, I was still not born yet. And so for me, that's pretty old. I absolutely love this movie. For me, Toy Story 1 and 2 kind of like mesh together. So I did need to rewatch it. I was watching it right before we got on the live for tonight. And it's such a classic story. It's such a story that has grown up with people that are my generation, between my age and Willie's age and Kate's age, probably, that has grown up with Andy and even Molly, as they have grown up, so have the people that the movie were made for. The kids of that time are now going up to college or graduated and things like that, or when, Toy Story 3 came out. And it's just a classic. I think it's so hard not to like this movie. They're icons in terms of animation, and as well as the characters who played them. We have Tim, right?
Alan.
And there's another one. Tom
Hanks.
Yes. Okay, good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Tom somebody.
Only one of the greatest actors of all time.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm not good with names. Look, it's if I don't see their face, it's just not
fair. That's
Glenn hasn't watched Toy Story in half a Rebecca. So
but it's amazing above everything. I think that again, like Pete said, the only thing you could say about it is that it's dated, but again, for as its time was mesmerizing, and the story, even through all the rest of the Toy Stories, has just continued to get better. It's one of the only Pixar movies that I think has actually had as good as original sequel movies. So I think that entire storyline is just amazing. But I love Toy Story just for its the start of an era. It is an iconic movie that will forever be, I think, loved and cherished. So, Derek, what do you think?
It's definitely an old favorite. Has some definite moments that can still cause laughter after all these years. It's an incredibly quotable movie, as Pete said. And for example, if my 13-year-old son does something without thinking, I'll just call him an SSLM. So a sad, strange little man. And it works. It's the voice
cast. You
have
my pity.
Yeah, I thank you. I know the voice cast may not ever be put together again. So many comedic actors from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, more than just Tom somebody and Tim somebody. So, and I don't want to get too deep into exactly who the voice cast are, because that may come up later.
Don't you give away those answers.
No, I'm not going to. So, I mean, I would say my one criticism is it is a little dark for young kids. It can be a little dark for young kids. It can be scary when they go to Sid's house. It can be, especially with the shining carpet. But And the middle gets just a little bit long. Being at Sid's house again gets to be a little long, but overall I think it works. Kate?
This movie is one of the greatest animated movies, in my opinion. It was ahead of its time with the blending, because at that point, did Shrek come before or after Toy Story?
No, much after, yeah.
Okay. So this to me was one of the first animated films that did have adult humor. Granted, I was not an adult, but you can still watch this as an adult and resonate with different parts of it. Like when Buzz says there seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere. Like that. Oh my God, when he becomes Mrs. Nesbit, I die. You know, even Sid, like Sid still like makes me like gasp. And I love that they brought live Sid out at Disneyland for the Oogie Boogie Bash. They had Sid out. It is so quotable. The other quote that I say is and no one ever remembers what or knows what I'm saying, but it's when Mr. Potato Head puts the pieces wrong and he goes, hey look, I'm Picasso. And Ham's like, what? And he goes, uncultured swine. I call people uncultured swine because of this movie. But Rebecca made a really, really, really good point that this movie and Toy Story 2 are blended so much in my head. And really, I am not a fan of sequels. No, most of the time. I would say 80% of the time, sequels are. But the sequels hold up. I mean, if you are any kid who's ever gone to college and you watch Toy Story 3 and you don't bawl your face off, like, come on. So, yeah, I love this movie. So
I'll agree with Toy Story 2 being very good. 3, not so much, and 4, no.
I don't care. I don't care for 4. 3 is very, very good. When people would say it's better than 1 and 2, I disagree with that. But
no,
it's very, very good. But I completely agree with Kate and Rebecca saying 1 and 2 are like this.
Yeah, I mean, you start to like when you think Bullseye and Jessie, they're just such an integral part of Toy Story that thinking about them not being in the first movie is kind of weird. So.
And Willie says he was going off to college when Toy Story 3 came out, so I was with Andy. Dan says he can remember hearing the other kids talk about the animation, how amazing it was in elementary school. Anticipation to watch it was great. As Ryan says, growing up and getting some of the jokes later make this movie even better. Here I am with sucking down Darjeeling with Marie Antoinette and her little sister. Dan does argue Sid's an underrated villain. I would agree with that. Sid is scary.
Yes.
Yeah, we all had that little psychopath in our neighborhood, didn't we?
Yep.
Definitely. Okay, so this being such an iconic movie, my question is, which toy is most like you? Which toy do you identify with the most? Rebecca, we're going to start with you. Which toy do you identify with the most?
So when you first gave this question, I was like, only from Toy Story 1, because I have different answers for 3 and 4. But Toy Story 1, I'm going to say Rex. He is a nervous wreck. He's anxious all the time. He tries to be big and strong, but is just like, he can't. For the life of him, he's just this good-hearted person or dinosaur, with a couple one-liners, tries to do his best, but, just goes along for the ride. And I think that really is me. I just am very someone who is go with the flow. I care a lot about my family and about my friends, and I think that he does that too as well. So I'm definitely going to say Rex for me.
Okay. For me, as a teacher, Woody is too obvious. Guys, for me, I'm going to go with Mr. Potato Head. The sarcastic humor of Don Rickles is totally my style. Being the voice of why to Woody. I mean, some of his reactions during the staff meeting could be taken directly from me, from a teacher in service. I mean, I love Don Rickles, who is the voice of Mr. Potato Head. He is so funny. And for me, it's definitely Mr. Potato Head. Kate, how about you?
Well, first of all, that is 100% what I would have called. And I think Rebecca was saying the same thing. So I had a little bit of trouble narrowing it down, partly because I kept thinking of characters that were in Toy Story 2. Because I see a lot of Bullseye in myself. But and I thought about Rex, but I think, Derek, I think you nailed it earlier. I think I'm Slinky Dog. I think Slinky is kind of a friend to everyone. Slinky does try to see the best in everybody. And even though he gets mad and he gets frustrated and he walks away, he's one of the last ones to walk away when Woody needed help, or when Woody was being Woody over at Sid's or whatever. But he's also, I mean, he was an integral part in saving the toys. So, and then I feel like there are days where every one of us can identify with one of Sid's toys. Like, sometimes I just feel like the baby doll head that's on top of the little crawly thing. Why? I don't know, but it just feels right sometimes. So,
or the alien that gets chewed and shaken like.
Yeah, I'm the fishing pole with the legs.
Or like the little frog that actually, it's just so good. So I would say Slinky. What about you, Pete?
Well, I feel like Rex a lot too, for some of the same reasons Rebecca said, but I'm gonna go with Ham because that's kind of my personality. So better for worse. And I do want to since everybody is like saying things that make everybody feel old, I'm gonna make everybody feel young. This was the first movie my wife and I went to together. It was not our first date, but it was like our third or fourth date. So the year it came, so I always know the year it came out in 1995, because that was when we started dating, December 1995. So yeah, I'll go with Ham.
Okay.
Does everybody agree with everybody's? I kind of get it.
I was gonna say, I can see it. I can see all of us. I almost went Woody, kind of trying to keep everybody happy and upbeat and trying to keep everyone calm while the world is falling apart. That's kind of the life of a teacher. But yeah. Gina says she's
want to
Mrs.
see what
Nesbitt.
everyone's would be for like 3 and 4. I know we're only focused on Toy Story 1, but I think 3 and 4 would be funny because there's a lot more to choose from.
Oh, I'm definitely Spanish Buzz.
Okay, we gotta see you do the flamenco at some point then. Okay.
That is the last thing I expected you to say, and I am so glad that you said it. I'm so glad.
Gina is Mrs. Nesbitt. Realize that you are a toy and this is your life. Ryan says he's Woody. Somebody has to pick the main guy. Okay. Willie goes, Pete, what was that?
It was perfection is what it was.
Okay.
You don't want to see me dance for sure.
Now, guys, we are at the moment you've all been waiting for. We are ready for Toy Story trivia. So, those of you who remember Mouse Quiz, you guys know how to do this. You go to crowd.live and put in the code WFYST. No, there's nothing special about the code. No, there's no special. I couldn't do Toy Story just because we weren't able to design the code, or scan the QR code. Okay, the one that's Pete is doing such a great job doing Vanna White on. When you go in, you will sign in, you will add your email, and you can play either from the internet or from a smart device. It does not, those of you who did Mouse Quiz, it does not remember you from Mouse Quiz. So you have got to go in and start over. We will not spam you with emails. We may let you know the next time we're doing quizzes, which, if this is successful, this will be a fairly regular thing on this show. Not every week, but very probably vault shows will be these. So as we are playing, guys, please remember, though, watch your phone. The timer for the questions and all that will be on your phone. The video will be well behind the timer on your phone. So again, go to CrowdPurse, sign in, put an email. We're not doing Teams this week. And yeah, get ready to play some trivia. So right now we've got 10 players. Come on, I know there's, several more of you out there than that. So going to give everyone just another minute or two to sign up. There will be 15 questions. I wrote the trivia questions this week. And yeah, I know now, as Glenn says, where's Tony Ann? I'm Mary Ann. Where are you? I mean, guys, you guys are going to let these guys win this week. I mean, yes, Jeremy's in, but someone, I mean, come on, you guys can pick up Jeremy. Plus, I will say, if you've been, Dan says he's in, and are we timed? Yes, you have, I believe I said it at 15 seconds, and it's pub style trivia. So the faster you answer, the higher you score.
So while we're giving everybody to load, let me ask this question of the team. From this watching, because every time I watch a different joke that like really strikes me as funny. From this watching, what was your favorite joke? Mine was when Woody's doing the presentation and Slinky Dog is like, "Oh, Woody, you're so awesome," and Potato Head pulls off his lips and puts them against his butt.
See, like that stuff I never even noticed as a kid, but now
you would never notice it as a kid, but it was
that's so funny.
Like,
I don't know. I don't know if this would count as a joke, but like when they're all saying where they're from, and then Rex is like, "And I'm from Mattel." Well, I'm not really from Mattel. I'm from like a company that like bought like like that part. Yeah. I was like, that was one of the things that made me was like, that's something that I would do. I'd be like, try to over explain and over analyze and to try to make someone understand. I thought that was funny.
That was definitely a joke, and yes, that is funny.
Yeah.
So. I also feel like as an adult, we all resonate with Mrs. Nesbit at some point. We've all been Mrs. Nesbit at some point. At least I have, especially in the last 18 months. Like,
yeah.
That's, yep.
Sorry, guys. For me, I don't know. I always like the "Way to Go, Idaho" when Mrs. Potato Head shows up.
Yeah.
Just as a, how he was wishing for it the first time, and at Christmas it came true. So.
Or when she says, "I'm gonna pack your angry eyes."
That's two. That's two.
It's the next movie, but it's good.
Yes. And I will say my favorite part of 2 is probably that outtake where she keeps shoving everything in to him. So
here is a little trivia for you while we're waiting just for a second for everybody to jump in. If you go to Toy Story Land in Disney's Hollywood Studios over at Walt Disney World, as you walk in, there's a giant Woody statue. And he talks and he's like, "Howdy, partners." Da, 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 da. That is not actually Tom Hanks. That is Tom Hanks's brother who does the voice of it, because Tom Hanks would have been substantially more expensive. You're welcome.
Fair enough. Okay. We have 14 people in. I think that's what we've got tonight. So, guys, I'm going to say good luck, and I will see everyone on the other side. Yay, guys. Nice job, Pete. It wasn't necessarily meaning to have it at the show, but yeah, nice job, Pete, Ryan, and Holly. Way to go. Dan, I'm rather disappointed. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. I will drop this.
I did not do well. I also wish that they had an option where we could change our answer.
Yeah, that's always.
Yeah.
If you've never played this before, that's the most frustrating part is picking too quickly and then going, oh.
Combat Carl. I knew it was Combat Carl. I knew it wasn't G.I. Joe, and I hit G.I. Joe anyway.
Okay, so let's look at these. What year was Toy Story released? As Pete said, it was 1995.
Thank you,
Yeah, I
Pete.
gave that one away, didn't
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and
there
I
was
still said 94.
there were several of these that,
that were
got given
mentioned
away.
earlier in the show, but that's okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so. What kind of chips does Andy's mom serve? Those are Cool Ranch and barbecue. And
That was
steps
a
on the soldier.
guess.
Yeah.
Actually, it was funny. I only remembered it because my daughter, we were watching it earlier, and my daughter goes, "Those are the best type for a party."
Yep.
All right. And everyone knew Andy got Buzz at his birthday. We had almost everybody realize there's no sign of intelligent life anywhere. So not going to say anything about that. Number one. What toy's blown up by Sid? Oh no, it's a Combat Carl.
I knew that too, and I still hit G.I. Joe, and I was like, oh no, it's a Combat Carl.
Yeah. And as Steve said, Cool Ranch should be banished. So depends. What was a brand of gasoline in Toy Story? It was Dynaco. Now, it was in the old Sunoco colors. It wasn't the blue of the Dynaco in Cars, but it was Dynaco. And who does Buzz have tea with? Marie Antoinette and her little sister. And it's the two beheaded dolls is why it's funny. Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan, because I didn't remember that one. Thank you,
Yeah.
Ryan, for that.
When Buzz has tea, he is Mrs. Nesbit.
Yes.
Yeah, he is Mrs. Nesbit. Yeah.
I thought more people would get this one. Miss this one. Name of Sid's dog is Scud. Okay. Number 9, the company on the toolbox at Sid's house is Benford. That is a throwback to Tim Allen on Home Improvement.
Yeah.
And as said, Gina knew that and fat fingered it. Now, this is one. How did Woody like the rocket? He likes the rocket from the sun through Buzz's helmet.
And I literally could see the scene happen. I just didn't know. Like, I see him realizing, like, what's making it, like, do that. And I was like, does he pick up the magnifying? Like, I literally couldn't. I'm just like, I had to pick. So,
yeah. He tries to light it with the match from Sid, but the car blows it out.
Yep.
And so, the name of the piggy bank is Ham. Andy's sister is
Yeah,
Molly.
I got that wrong. I got Ham wrong because I was thinking, yeah,
Porky.
I wasn't thinking the character. No, I was thinking about when there's the bank and he's like, oh, anyway, don't mind me. It's fine.
Bless your heart. So, which character sings "You've Got a Friend in Me"? And I made it in this movie, which is none of the above. Woody sings it in Toy Story 2, but he does not sing it in this movie.
No, Woody doesn't sing it.
Yes, he
Squeaky
does. No, he sings it on the tape, on the videotape.
Oh, right. You're right.
He sings it on the videotape. Okay. Which one of these did not contribute a voice to a character in Toy Story? Billy Crystal did not. Billy Crystal was actually offered Buzz Lightyear and said no because he didn't think the movie would do well. John Ratzenberger was Ham, and in just about every other Pixar movie, I think there's one he's not in. Wallace Shawn is Rex, no matter how inconceivable that might be. And Jim Varney was Slinky, better known as Ernest in all the Ernest Saves Christmas and Ernest Goes to Camp movies.
Ernest the Slinky Dog?
Yes.
Yep.
That just
Uh-huh.
makes me so glad that I'm earnest. All right,
Well-
Stinky Dog.
And Randy Newman composed the music for Toy Story.
Oh, and can we give some credit to the other two songs though? I mean, You Got a Friend in Me is a wonderful song, has been used and overused by Disney for 25 years, but the other two songs, Strange Things and I Will Go Sailing No More, are like
great,
perfect for the movie, and just yeah.
Yeah, Steve says he's voiced a character in every Pixar film. I think one of the more recent ones he did not. But I mean, I could be wrong on that one. Glenn didn't realize that the other Glenn didn't realize that Sid's toys had names. The Combat Carl, because it was the brand. It's a Combat Carl. So, well, we know because of how it popped up who won, but let's take a look at it. Pete got 15 out of 15. Nicely job, Pete. And the only one to get 15 out of 15. Ryan got second. Holly third. Jeremy came in fourth with 12 out of 15. Jeremy, I'm rather disappointed. Gina got 11. Amy got 11. Rebecca, you got 10. Okay. Gina says it didn't let you answer one question. Still got fifth. Yeah. Excuses.
It didn't let me answer the dog question either, Gina. So there you go.
I don't know, guys.
Good news is there's no prize.
Yeah. Well, Geek and Glenn back again to finish fourth. And as he says, definitely needs to now be the other Glenn after my son. So, which I actually don't see my son. No, my son was one spot behind you. My son was Swather Red on that one. So, and then we've got Kate. Kate got 10 out of 15. Okay, you and Rebecca. Rebecca was just a little bit quicker. And then Gina's hubby, Willie, and Dan got 9 out of 15. I'm hoping you got distracted. So I just want to know, where was the wife? Where were the kids? But, okay, guys. So I think that was a lot of fun. Had fun. Dan, don't judge you, Derek. Well, we can judge. We just won't do it out loud. So
I did look up John Ratzenberger, and he is in every Pixar film except for Luca so far.
Thank you. Okay.
So he was in Coco and everything prior. The only thing he has not been a part of is Luca.
Okay. So, and Gina says this was fun. So, as we do, guys, every show, we got to rate Toy Story on a Pixie Dust scale. So, Kate, what are we giving it on a Pixie Dust scale?
5. It's a 5.
Okay.
It's great. I have it's great. It's a 5.
Okay. Pete?
I got to do the same thing. I think I've only given one 5 before, but that's a 5 for me.
Okay.
I just never tire of it. So.
Yeah. Your only other 5 was the Loki series. So.
Oh, good one.
Rebecca?
5 as well. Nothing else to add.
Okay.
Don't
guys,
even.
you've been waiting for this moment for the entire run of the show. Guys, we got a perfect 5. Got a perfect 5. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. It is a 5 for me. It is one of my top movies of all time. So,
good pick, Rebecca.
So, yeah, good pick, Rebecca. Yeah, and I knew this was going to be a great pick, and I think we have an idea what our next Vault show is going to be. It's going to be around the Christmas season. No, it's not going to be Toy Story 2. Nope. But it's yes, even the Russian judge agrees. Yeah. So, mic drop. Yeah, definitely a 5. Jeremy says it's time for a Toy Story marathon. I'd stick with you for the second one. The third one, again, the end is really sad, but lots of just doesn't do it for me.
Look, I kept my mouth shut when you guys talked horrible things about Toy Story 3 and 4, but 4 is amazing.
Did not. Well, I talked bad things about Toy Story
4. Wait, hold on. Is 4 the one where
at the carnival
4
with Forky?
I'm trash. Oh, it's
Ye-
cinematic.
No, you're
ma-
not trash, Rebecca. The movie's
no.
trash.
If I would
Um,
be Forky, if we're gonna say whose character are we, I am Forky.
You're not Forky.
You're not Forky.
Discovers his true calling. That's me. That is me.
Okay.
Forza me. Thank you, Ryan. That's all I need. Okay.
Four's amazing, then the animation is flawless. Yeah, as Glenn says, if you want more good ratings from Derek, less Marvel.
Yeah.
Very possibly. Yeah.
And let's also, we talk about the 4 movies. I got to say, Toy Story of Terror is great. That was like a 22-minute special. The Christmas
And
one,
a lot
not
of
too
the
much.
shorts are great.
A lot of the shorts are great too.
The
Yeah.
Hawaiian Vacation one after 3 is just hilarious.
Yep.
Especially with Mr. Potato Head as the pineapple. So, okay. Guys, and I'm going to pull in Gina on this one. Guys, Thanksgiving is coming up this week. What are we thankful for? Kate, I'll start with you. What's something you're thankful for this year?
I am thankful for live entertainment coming back.
Okay.
I am thankful. I other than being able to spend time in the parks recently a little bit more and getting to see things. I spent this last weekend, I was traveling for work in Vegas, and I watched the Michael Jackson 1 Cirque du Soleil show, and the show ended and I just sat in tears because live entertainment is coming back, and that I am so unbelievably grateful for. What's up, Gina?
I have so much, but I'm going to say for this show, I am grateful for all my Disney friends. I have made so many Disney friends through these podcasts that I am so grateful to you all. And you are my best friends. And even though you don't live in California, my besties live all over the country because of these podcasts. Oh, Pete.
Yeah. Well, I am very thankful for the folks that I've met on this podcast and the other podcasts. But I also want to say, there's been some rough parts to the last couple of years, for me personally, and of course for the whole world. But for me, I'm thankful to have made it through, myself and my family, with most everything intact. So, that's what I'm most thankful for right now. Rebecca?
I am very thankful for milestones, I guess, for growth, for progress, continuing to move forward and not letting the things that have happened the past couple of years hold me back from achieving my goals. I have my graduation in about 23 days, and I am just so eager. So definitely for just growth and progress and moving forward. Derek, what about you?
I'm going to have to say for the progress that's being made as far as things being able to open up again, because some of the things that are happening in the rest of the world, with that things that are allowing entertainment to be able to come back. The fact that medical advice seems to be getting ahead of the coronavirus. That being said, we're not there yet. But I will also say the second thing is, guys, the 4 of you and Sam. Sam, we miss you, but you're on a cruise or heading to the airport or whatever.
Yeah, I feel real bad for her.
Yeah, I feel so sorry.
7-day cruise. Poor thing.
Yeah. But really, I mean, this is the highlight of my week. So I have so enjoyed doing this and can't wait to see what we're thankful for next year also.
Yeah.
So now, speaking of next week, we have Hawkeye premiering tomorrow, and Hawkeye will have 2 episodes showing up tomorrow. Now, we were talking in the background, and as Pete said, Hawkeye is the Avenger that we know the least about. So, Pete, in minute and a half, 2 minutes, what do we need to know about Hawkeye if we haven't seen all the Marvel movies?
Okay, so Hawkeye is a sharpshooter that is proficient with many weapons, but primarily bow and arrow. He first appeared in Thor, but first real role was in Avengers, where he was hypnotized by Loki and was a bad guy for about 2/3 of the movie, and then came back to the good side. He also showed up in the second Avengers movie working with the team. After that, he retired and went to spend time with his family. He's one of the few Avengers that has a wife and 3 kids. He then showed up for Civil War to help Captain America when the 2 sides were fighting. He was arrested, but then he was allowed to go back to his family under house arrest.
Yeah, Kate, do you need to, mute things because you haven't seen this stuff yet?
Well, this is helping you for Hawkeye. So he
I'm gonna have to watch Hawkeye, so it's fine.
So he doesn't appear in Infinity War, but at the end of Infinity War, his family is snapped out of existence, and he becomes basically a rogue assassin during the time of Endgame until there's like a 5-year period in Endgame, and then he eventually comes back with the Avengers to help them change the past. His family comes back, and I think as we're going into Hawkeye, he is probably back to being retired and spending time with his family. So I think the primary thing to know about him is he's an Avenger, and he has a wife and 3 kids, and they're the most important thing in the world to him. So I think that will play into the series.
And based off of the Black Widow movie, her sister is probably the one coming after him. And I think we've actually seen her in one of the trailers.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They've announced that she's in the show. So
did we also see the gal from the girl from Falcon and Winter Soldier? The one who was selling up. I don't know.
I didn't see her in any of the trailers.
Okay, that might have just been me.
Yeah.
But and I will say another interesting thing is that I don't remember the actor's name who plays Hawkeye, but he actually told Disney, if you can't work around my shooting schedule, recast Hawkeye, I'm done. As far as so I can spend time with my family. So there is some based in his real personality on this. Yep. So that will be next Tuesday. We will have the Hawkeye premiere.
It's 2 episodes.
Both episodes. We're watching both episodes that come out tomorrow. Please, if you guys have suggestions, if you have shows you want to see us do more trivia about, email us, plusplatoon@gmail.com. Message us on Facebook. Like, subscribe, share. We are on Instagram. We are on Twitter. We are on all major podcasting channels and platforms. So then go on to Apple Podcasts and give us those 5-star reviews, because guys, those really do help. So with that, everyone, I think we've had a great night tonight. Thank you for all of you who joined us for the trivia, and we will say good night. So good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Plus Platoon. Be sure to subscribe to the Plus Platoon podcast to keep getting great content each week. Then head over to Apple Podcasts and leave those 5-star reviews, as they help make the Plus Platoon visible to even more Disney Plus fans. Also, go to YouTube and like and subscribe to the Plus Platoon channel, where you can watch all future episodes live. If you have a question for the Plus Platoon, please send us an email to plusplatoon@gmail.com or connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram @PlusPlatoon.
The Plus Platoon is a Disney Plus fan podcast and is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company or the Disney Plus streaming service. All opinions expressed on the show are solely those of the individual hosts and in no way reflect the views of the Walt Disney Company.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for next week's episode, because the Plus Platoon is to be continued.